You just gonna be on your phone the whole time, bro?
No, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
Cause we recording right now.
Oh, damn, my bad, man. I ain't, I be out here posting. I'm all but look. I'm in here advertising as we speak. My bad, man. Let's get to it.
Yeah, man.
My bad.
This Ty-Quan Knight. Y'all might know him as Grittz. We just jumping right in here, man.
Let's do it, man.
You ever did a podcast before?
No, man. This is my first one, man. I'm gonna be honest. I'm honored to be on your guest. You feel me? Y'all check me out. My first one. I might mess around and start my own, and I'm gonna have him on mine. You feel me?
Hey, man.
I'm gonna shoot it here, right here at the Snap House. I won't do it outside the Snap House. I guarantee you.
For y'all watching the pod, some of y'all might not know, but the Snap House is my rental studio. We have this podcast room and a production area in the back. We actually got 2 photography station areas, but yeah, this is the Snap House Productions. But welcome to the show, man. It's a pleasure having you on. On this podcast, man, we talk about a little bit of business and entrepreneurship, motivation.
So I might know a little something about that.
Yeah. So, first off, man, I don't know what to really refer to you as. I know you to do a lot of things, man, when it comes to making money, what would you describe your career as? Like, if somebody says, "What is Grittz?"
I'm gonna say,
get a little closer. Pull the mic a little.
If you was to ask me what is Grittz, I'm gonna tell you like I tell everybody is, I do everything but play professional sports, man. It sounds crazy, but I'm an author, I'm a songwriter, I'm a rapper, battle rapper, contractor. I do logos, business loans, grants, business proposals. I write them out for you. I got a cartoon coming. I'm working on that app. Clothing. Like you really had to ask me what I don't do. We do everything from custom floors to commercial cleaning and residential cleaning, pressure washing. Listen, when you call me, you gotta listen. Here's my challenge. If you can call me, and I'm stamping this right here at Snap House on this podcast. If you can call me and find something that I do not do, or something that I cannot in my company that I do not have a actual contractor for, like on hand immediately. If you call me and I cannot get that job, a quote to you within 5 minutes, I owe you $5. That's for anybody who watched this. Call me and ask me if it's something I cannot do or cannot get done to you under my company, and I owe you $5. Let me give you a hint. One thing you can't use against me is photography. But I call him. So never mind. Go ahead, call me for that, because you still gonna be short of $5. So yeah, that's the thing. We do it all, man.
Y'all heard it. So okay. So what do you say to the? Some people say a jack of all trades, master of none. What's your take on that?
I don't believe that, because I feel as though before you can monetize it, you need to try to master it the best you can. Now, with that being understood, I'm pretty sure even a man of yourself, who I would say will be fairly, very skilled, successful in the world of photography, I'm pretty sure you find new things to learn all the time. Yeah. So if you when people say they have mastered something, I'm like, because even a black belt still studies, right? So when somebody say they mastered something, I wonder if people think that means they don't know how to study, right? Because if that's the case, then I will die of jack of all trades and a master of none. Because you can never say you master something. You can perfect something so good that someone's perspective of you can say that you master it, but you being who you are, you always going for like, dang, it's a quicker way to do it, or it's a better way to do it. So yes, I don't believe in none of the hype of, it's 2022. You no longer have to pitch your eggs in one basket. You got, for example, we got Kevin Hart. This dude is a comedian. Now he sell underwear. Now he got a fitness line. And he got an actual Nike shoe. You know what I'm saying? Now he has tequila.
I didn't know he had a.
He got a tequila now. He got a clothing line. He got a underwear, a shirt line, I think, something like that. So, but it's luxury.
Is it his or is he?
It's his. He has
the
parts
face
in
of
it.
Like
no, it's his.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had parts in it, and it's just like that to go to show you, like, if you look at any successful person nowadays, I mean, just look at the Jay-Z's of the world, the Kanye's of the world. Like, they would have considered to be the master, I guess, of music, right? You never thought that Kanye would make $6 billion off of Yeezys.
Right.
Jay-Z, billions of dollars off of champagne. Rihanna, makeup, and
Right.
you know. So if you got to be one of them people, and I'm pretty sure if you look at this, I want you to look at this, and this is no slight to them. The amount of energy and time and years they took to perfect their craft in music they put nowhere as near as much time in the billions they made off the projects after that. Jay-Z been rapping for how long?
Early
But
90s,
he
yeah.
didn't put that type of time into creating Ace of Spades or Duce.
Right.
Rihanna been making music, chasing that since she was 18 years old when we first met her to the world. But when you look at that, Fenty, she didn't spend that much time in Fenty.
Right.
So this goes to show you, like, when it depends on what you consider a master. Because
don't that kind of come to the, the old saying, money, what is it? Money makes money, or money brings money. Like, so it was easier for them though.
why? Because you feel like the philosophy that it take money to make money.
Yeah, take money to make money, and like money attracts money. Like back then they was chasing money. Now they just be who they are, and opportunities kind of present themselves. Versus, like right now, you out looking for opportunities.
Correct.
But you become a household name, you turn down opportunity.
Yeah. Okay.
So it doesn't.
No, I would still say because, and this is no slight to him at all. Let's look at somebody like Damon John, right? FUBU, clothing line, $1 billion, right? He could never do it again. He's tried to relaunch FUBU how many times? It'll never be what it was. So you still have a moment where they still had to be feeling you. Rihanna ain't the first person to try a makeup but it worked for her. You know, Kanye ain't the first. We had S. Carter's and G-Unit sneakers before we had Yeezys. Master P's.
I never owned a pair of S. Carter's, by the way.
I had a pair.
You had a pair
Of G-Unit sneakers.
I knew
that's
better.
my person.
I knew better than to buy either one of them.
You look at Birdman lugs and
I never had them.
You know, it didn't do what it do.
Right.
So it's easy to say that, but if that's the case, then
that's funny.
You never had no Birdman lugs.
I ain't think about that.
Exactly.
I don't know nobody that had no
Never
Birdman.
had none. So never had Birdman lugs. You never had the P Millers. You never wanted them. Like they was in East Bay, eBay, whatever it was. You never wanted the Master P. Like, yo, he can have those.
Right.
So yeah.
So with all the different businesses you do,
Yeah.
If somebody said pick a career you want to be known for, like even if it's just for this moment, this month, what do you do?
Pick a career I want to be known for.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say me. I'm Grittz. So they're
You're just not
huh?
just not gonna give me a direct answer. Are you a clothing designer?
I would say.
What's the what do you?
If somebody was to ask me, then the career, then it would be the career that I've given my life to, which would be a serial entrepreneur.
Okay.
If they had to, like, I'm not, and I think people look at that as indecisiveness. No, I was born that way. I wake up, I see ideas, and I say capitalize, monetization, and there's people like that in the world.
Right.
That's how we got the thing. Somebody said, "Yo, I don't really want to ride no horse to work. It gotta be a better way. I'm tired of getting rained on and da-da-da-da." And they created a car. Somebody, let's just think, but that was started off from an idea, right? Somebody once told him, "Oh, he's wasting his time over there trying to build that car, man."
Right.
And then, now you don't see people horseback riding no more to get nowhere. That's not the means of travel.
I did see a little bit this summer when the gas prices went down.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of stuff this summer when the gas prices come up. But just like when the Wright brothers, they thought they was crazy.
Right.
They went from that to commercial flying. See, it's still always gonna be a vertical integration, another level, right? Eventually, we probably gonna be, ain't no telling what's gonna come next at the airplane travel. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody has to be the person that look like they don't know what they doing. I gotta look like I'm running around with my head cut off. But when it sticks, it sticks. You know what I'm saying? They thought Kanye was crazy on Ellen DeGeneres. $6 billion later, they still look at him crazy, but he's no longer questioned. Just think about it. The rest of the world is calling this man crazy, but then Adidas and Gap is willing to pour more and more money into him.
Well, Adidas, that's a whole nother story. But
you know,
both of them, they kind of.
Yeah.
Can we say they used them? at this point?
At this point, we can definitely say we use him, but look at the type of viability that he shows he has. So if anything, I hope he learned his own worth, because he just admitted Sway did have the answers the whole time.
Right.
Said it himself. And so somebody like me, I know now not to even go that channel. So I'm already prepared. I told everybody, I got an app I'm working on for years. I don't want to rely on middlemen, which is why I learned, if you ever see Rondell hat or my hat or anything, I learned how to do these embroideries and logos on my own. I learned how to do it on my own. I don't want you to, I like my price to be consistent. So only way I can guarantee my price be consistent.
That's your main camera, too.
Oh, that's my main camera right here. The only way I can make sure my price is consistent is to learn how to do it myself. That's what everything I do. You know what I'm saying? With legal marijuana, anything that I chose to do, I did it myself, and I'm learning how to do it myself. And if I can't learn how to do it myself, I'm going to pick the person next to me that know how to do it himself, and that's no longer a middleman. That's a brother of mine. We're going to go ahead and we're going to learn. And then while I'm with him, I'm teaching him my skill, and he's teaching me his. So if we ever were to part ways, none of us lost. It was valuable to both of us. I learned the skill, he learned the skill, a trade or whatever. So that's how I do. My new friendships consist of not using you, but let's build. If you have something I can learn from you, I got something to teach you, and we come together, and then we go find two other people, and we bring them to the table. So the network gets bigger, and there's less middlemen in the world, because when the middlemen, I feel like I got to get a price. If I teach you this trade, I don't have to try to create a price off of you no more, right? I taught you how to. I look at middleman as a saying, you teach a person to fish. Because if I go get him for him, he ain't gonna eat for that day. If I teach him, he can eat forever.
Right.
But people rely on middleman and they not fishing.
Some people don't want to fish.
And then people who don't want to fish, they get fed. And then when you get fed what I want to feed you. I'm the type of person, I'm skinny, but I like to eat. When I want to eat, how I want to eat, right? So I don't want to come to your house every day and depend on your plate, and all you got for me every day is, I started off with steak, and now you tired of me eating your steak. So now you just give me crackers every day. You eat a steak in my face, but I'm eating crackers because I came to you to eat. I can't complain. Bakers can't be choosy.
Right.
So that's the thing, you know.
All right. So what? So like I said, since I met you, man, I think day one you was talking that business talk, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, who is this young kid? Where did this come from, man? Like, where did you pick up this hustle spirit?
I was born with. I had to be born with it, because when I talked to my mother, she always tell me stories about how I would try to sell her, like if she wanted me to take a bath or something, she had to pay me. That was since a kid.
That's crazy.
Like, as a baby, like I would joke with her about. So I don't really know. If I said I had to be born with it, because I didn't even understand the value of money at the time, right? So then when I got older, it was a lack of what we had, right? So deprivation always leads to innovation. So it was like, okay, well, I don't have as much as the other kids, right? So how can I go get it? Okay. They got parents. I can't go to work with their parents. So what can I do? I started selling chocolate candy at a young age. I was booming in school. If you went to Deekey Elementary or middle, you know me in Baltimore. You know I did my thing. Then I started snow shoveling. And then shout out to Mr. Junior. He gave me my first real hands-on opportunity at Mr. Junior's Peanuts, where I sold peanuts, pistachios, ice cold soda waters, and Gatorades outside the Orioles and Ravens stadiums. That right there, it was almost like I was my own boss. At 13 years old, he was entrusting me to man this station. So I had to make sure my peanuts was right, my inventory was right, make sure I got to say no fake money. I had to make sure everything was right. And then I learned the value of, hey, I just made $400 for him, but he paid me $60. I never liked that feeling. Like, wait, what the heck? You know? So I saved my own money and started selling my own peanuts at that point.
How do you feel about working for somebody?
I tell everybody who work for somebody hey, work hard, work smart. Because even as an entrepreneur, I'm working for somebody. And I hate when people don't understand that.
Right.
And guess what? My boss man is probably 10 times worse than your boss man, because I don't know who my boss man going to be today. So I wake up in the morning and that person called me for that job. I don't know if they're going to be, prejudiced. I don't know if they're going to be, depending on, because I wear so many hats.
Right.
So I go from being a residential cleaner to a commercial pressure washer to a designer to a grant writer, right? Mm. That's 4 different bosses I'm going to have that one day.
Right.
Right? So you never know what you're going to get. And so I'm at, and if I don't if I don't kill, I don't eat. So I'm almost under more pressure than the average person because you have a little couple laws or something to protect you. This person does not have to give me their money. And once they pay me, if they do not like the quality, they can dispute this charge immediately.
Right.
So for the person who's working, I feel like it's a safe thing. Just make sure you're doing something you love to do. If you're doing something you hate to do, I would say quit. Don't die miserable because you never know when your time is coming. Like quit right now, and then I don't know if you religious beliefs or anything like that, so I don't get too deep. But I know that for a fact, some suffering is inevitable. But he didn't want us here to be unhappy. So if you going to a dead end job every day, understand that is not your persecution. That is not what he wanted you to end at. So do something you love to do and be good at it. And I guarantee you, I don't care if it's out here washing cars, it's gonna feel free, and you're gonna find a way to make any kind of money you got that you need to make off something you love to do. I guarantee you. Just try it.
What's some things that you've done business-wise that kind of even shocks you at this point when you look back on it? Like,
When I look
wow, I
back
did
on
that.
it, I say being able just to be. I would say this. Let me shout out to Miss Nancy Vaughn. I would say that being able to be considered, seeing my name listed on the candidates, even as a mayor, that was dope to me because that was something I always dreamed of. Even though I didn't win, bravo to her. She's a great mayor. She's been the mayor here for a long time. So other than that, I would say seeing my actual children's book be liked and created in a 5-star book on Kindle. I would say in my rap career, being able to battle top 10 talents like Bridge Rothstein. In my cleaning career, I would say recently just being featured in the magazine. Y'all see me, that's me. That's me right there. I don't know if y'all can get a zoom in on that. That's me. So getting featured
And
in that.
I shot that.
Yeah, Snap House. I came into the Snap House. Snap House. They put us all the way in the back, but guess what? Snap House did that. You know what I'm saying? Snap House did that.
Y'all getting exclusive.
Yeah.
This ain't even out yet.
This ain't out yet.
This don't even drop until next month.
And I'm going to show you what kind of person I am. So I just recently created my own magazine, so y'all be on the lookout for that. And that's no shade to them. But when I realized what was going on in this magazine, I want to give other individuals, small businesses, and entrepreneurs the time to be spotlighted in the magazine, right? It's coverage and exposure. So we working on the magazine, me and my brother, Trey, we call him Bishop. Look out. He do also real estate. Let me shout him out. Real estate, life insurance, and that's why I say even my friends. My bro, he does life insurance, real estate, clothing line, logistics, contracting as well, right? So everybody in my circle is, like I said, we learning. So I just took my life insurance course that he helped me study for, right?
Okay.
Then we also bringing bail bonding into the fold of things. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. We continue to add on. So it's not about being a jack of all trades. These are things that you can monetize and why not from the snap of your finger, right? Life insurance is something that you don't have to sell every day, but it's valuable.
Right.
So I like to listen. My whole thing in life was when I get ready to leave this world, wherever we go, right? Mm-hmm. I want to be able to. My daughter can look back and say she don't have to just do one thing. I did it all. I did it all from book publishing to book writing, clothing line, battle rapping, songwriting. Her daddy did it all, and so when if God forbid I do not live long enough to see her blossom into adulthood, right? I have left a good enough trail for her to try it all. Try it all, and don't just try it for the fun of it. Monetize it. Monetize it. Trust me, for every person that's a producer, it's always somebody that's willing to purchase it. I promise you. You don't believe me? Go home right now and bottle up some water and put a label on it with your face on it. Somebody's going to buy it.
So we ain't going to let you just kind of skim past the whole, like, running for mayor.
Yeah. Let's talk.
So you ran for mayor in this last election?
Yes.
Here in Greensboro?
Yes. And so let's talk about that too. And I also this also go to, let's speak about the cons of being a man of many hats, because there's cons that come with it, right? Sometimes I miss some big opportunities, not knowing they could have been bigger, right? I took one job, but this job over here actually would have opened another door for me. But I got so many hats. This person booked first. Right? So now I'm in the process. I hired some people, and shout out to them, got an assistant and stuff like that. But even with that, I'm so scared I'm not a lie. I'm not scared to take a risk on me, but I'm scared to take a risk and fail others. Right? So I don't want you to think that you can come be my assistant. That's scary for me. For me to think that you can work for me, and let's say it gets slow. That's my biggest fear. It's not let me down, but to let you down. Because now that's your family. That's so, you know what I'm saying? So let's go to the mayor thing, right? I've never did anything in politics before in my life, but I've always been the type of person that when it hit on my heart, I gotta do it. So when I did it, I spoke about it. Even when I came to Rondell here, and we went at the Snap House, but he took my pictures for me, my headshots. So if you notice, a lot of my professional pictures, I only trust one person, and so he's the GOAT of this. I'm not gonna lie to you. He gonna give you all his time and energy, and then he always gonna, even though he gonna act like he don't like, he gonna throw something extra in there every time. You gonna get the little videos, the backdrops you can get. So don't tell him that's a little secret. You know, this. Hey, I'm telling you,
you can't release. Everybody don't get that. So so
listen, come be a respected client. And a regular client, and watch what you start to get. You always gonna get what you pay for, but the more you come back, just watch what you get. But in that, right, and this is something I just recently learned. When I ran for mayor, when they switched the terms, and out of nowhere due to COVID, right? So when I was realizing was, even in this last term when I was running, I'm running, but not running at the same time, because the terms were switched. So if you look at the candidates, you'll see my name listed. When you look at the actual candidates for the year, because we supposed to have ran already.
Yeah.
Right? So, and it wasn't just me. I'm not going to, I let other people speak on their behalf. We all felt bamboozled. Because we running, we campaigning, and we calling down to this, you know, I don't want to slander nobody because I might run again, right?
Yeah.
But we felt bamboozled. But what we have decided, and I'm not going to speak for everybody else, but what a lot of other people I know ran, is we're going to chalk it up to COVID. COVID messed a lot of things up. We're going to chalk it up. But I did, I posted it on my page, I did get added to the council before the runoffs to let, you know, they did do me that much justice for me to say my piece. And so I'm thankful for that. But shout out to the winners. And when it come up again, I might still be here because this time we won't, yeah.
You know what you're going to, you know what you got to do now.
I know what I got. I knew what I had to do then, but yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Miss Nancy Vaughn, man. Cause I might have to sign something for me.
What makes you? Were you into politics before?
No.
What made you want to do
Image.
such a
image? And let me say this. I don't want to sound too godly, too gospel-y, but the image of the black man is being distorted every day, right?
Yeah.
And it's a lot of and I keep saying this dude because I just love his response, but it's a lot of Max Millions. It's a lot of Rondell Lane.
Max Maxwell.
So it's not Max Millions?
No, if his name was Max Millions, I would make fun of him, man.
So it's a lot of Max Millions.
If y'all don't know Max Maxwell is a real well-known real estate investor, serial entrepreneur out of Winston-Salem. But he's huge. Look him up on YouTube.
And you gonna call him
He's
Max
huge.
Millions too.
But it's Max Maxwell.
Look him up and you tell me if what fits better, Max Maxwell.
I'm gonna tell him that.
or
I'm gonna
Max
tell him that tomorrow
Millions.
night.
Okay, tell him.
I'm gonna say, man,
Max Millions. Show him the clip.
Max Millions.
Anyway, but what was the question, bro?
We were saying, what made you want to run for mayor?
Oh yeah, it's the image, man. Because at the end of the day, and I love rap music, I love sports, I love entertainers. But I ran, and he'll tell you, I really didn't want to put no suit on, no nothing. I wanted to run and look like myself. Why? Because I'm not a fan of assimilation. I feel as though if you're great, you're great. And so even when I go into business meetings with my book characters or whatever, I always go usually dressed like this, right? I'm a representation of my people. So next time you see somebody with a hat, with a hat on and a slight sag to their jeans, you won't automatically think that they're a thug, right? You might say, oh, wait a minute, because Ty-Quan and Grittz, a.k.a. Grittz, had the same attire on, and he was a genius. And we wanted his app idea, and so if he had an app idea, but maybe this guy over here, so you won't be clutching your purse with us. You might be wanting to sit here and handshake us and see why. So when I ran for mayor, I really wanted to do it so the young black kid to see, hey, you can do this too. You can be in politics, you can be in business, you can be a president, you can be an owner, you can be everything that you want to be and still look like you. Right? Everybody want to tell them to cut their beards and cut their hair because they got that. None of that is going to indicate what you truly possess. Right? If you look at Derek Grace, right? That's his name, Derek Grace.
I don't know.
Look him up. I challenge you to look him up. Look up Derek Grace. Big gold kilo chains, dreads, tats all over his face. Educated, financial, own real estate, own kind of. He can teach you things you never had about gun control, gun safety, everything. But you look at him right now, you'll think he's a thug or a gangster. Yeah. Right? The Wall Street Trapper.
Yeah, I know him.
You know, these are people who basically took the same guideline and say, you don't have to assimilate to win. Because a lot of people, they get so, they don't want to, winning has almost been a plot or a trick or a ploy to make it almost look proper. Like when a black person speak with proper vernacular, they say you talk white. So when a person come up, a lot of people don't want to be the white boy in the situation, so they don't want to wear the suits. They want to keep it hood. They want to keep.
But that is a thing, though.
But you can keep it hood and still be a successful businessman. Because the realest hood to me is fatherhood, adulthood, right?
Right.
So you can keep it hood in a sense, and with meaning if you consider if you identifying as being hood, right? I'm hoping that you saying somebody that's from an urban situation that's trying to change it and come up, right? You know what I'm saying? If you just there and want to be there, if you born in the projects and you just want to live and die in the projects, and this is not for you. This message is not for you. I didn't wear that for you. I didn't do that for you. I did it for the ones who say, hey, I do want to change, but I might not have enough money for a nice suit. Right? I don't know nothing about slacks. That was me. I don't know nothing about slacks and the right kind of proper boot to wear. I just know how to wear my jeans, and I do know how to get a collar shirt, or if I like my sneakers. I don't really want to wear those boots over there, right? Get out there and still try it. Yeah. For the ones for anybody who respect talent, if you talented in what you do, I guarantee you they're not going to knock you for the shoes that you wear, or if you got a slight sag, or if you choose to wear your hat like this or like this. I guarantee you, because they're going to be more interested in what you got here and what you're producing. And I proved that point many a time. So that's why I wanted to run for mayor, because there's a lot of people in this city that I feel as though need to be represented in a different way, and one of those races is our race. So the black, the brown community, stuff like that. And that's no stab at all my Caucasian friends, but I wanted to show my people like, hey, we can run, and we do not have to assimilate to run or to dominate. We were the originators of a lot of things, and we can continue to originate things. That's just what we're gonna do.
Good stuff. So tell us about your childhood, man. Like, what? I know you. I know you said you had like an entrepreneur hustle, but like outside of that, man, what was your environment like? Like, what did you grow up around?
I came up from nothing. So, originally I was my father and my mother met up in a small town here in Richmond County, North Carolina, right? From the time I was probably months old, raised. My mother and them was originally back and forth from Baltimore, Maryland. Anyway, that's my whole family's migration is Baltimore to that small town. That's our migration is. Weird. I don't know how we got to that small town, but if you trace it back, we can go from Baltimore, Maryland to Richmond County, Baltimore, Maryland. That's just what it was. So to be born there, my mother and father really never had nothing. I remember my mother said when we would come home, my grandmother is back in the day in that small town, so they had to go outside to use the bathroom, or they used a bucket in the house, right? So and as I remember, they say your memory is triggered in certain ways, and sometimes smell is one. I kind of remember the smell of that bucket, like. If I don't remember nothing else, I remember that bucket. So it's like, so not having nothing and then going to Baltimore, Maryland, and my mother having her own struggles with certain things and like drugs and stuff like that, and us being in the shelters. And that's the thing, rain hurt, because I'm a kid, and we outside in the shelters trying to make it back because it's hailing outside, right? That's the thing, rain hurt, right? So being in the shelters, I used to hate. I just like Christmas a lot because of the shelter, man. The memories of being, they take you past all these big old toys to the back of the building, and then they give you this little wine, You didn't pass toy card,
Yeah.
and then you get a little wine, and you put be happy and say cheese, and they send you back. Then the families come adopt you, and they take you back to the shelter, right? So you secondhand, or you felt like secondhand the whole time, right? I just remember those moments are real pivotal to going back to Richmond County, right? My mother is still having this small addiction with drugs and us not having nothing. And that was my first time ever having to witness her run extension cords to the neighbor house. That's how we got power, right? To now we back in Baltimore again, and now we trying to do nothing, but we in this environment where it's violence and drugs, and the kids, we living fast, right? So it's a lot of drug dealing and poverty, and so going through those things. But my mother always told me, my sister, this thing: as kids, right, that you had to live life like no one in the world loves you. And I was a kid being told that. So waking up Christmas, no lights on. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I got such a liking to 50 Cent. The only thing I had for Christmas was that CD. And it stuck out. Who is 50 Cent? I remember getting this CD player, this mix CD. And it was 50 Cent on there.
Get Rich or Die Trying?
No, this before Get Rich or Die Trying even came out.
So this was like
this was Murder, I Don't Believe You, How to Rob. This was the freestyles he was doing. This was, and I don't know who this person is, but as a kid, I always was a hustler. So, and 50 Cent to $1 was to come up to me, I used to stack quarters. I used to love quarters. To this day, I love quarters. I used to stack quarters. So I hit 50 Cent, I'm just going to all the 50 Cent songs. And, he dissing Ja Rule, and I'm like, oh, snap, because I ain't going to lie. I'm only going to say this one time, this is exclusive. Because everybody know I'm a diehard 50 Cent fan. I used to be a Ja Rule fan. I used to be, hey. And
I think I sided with 50 a little more.
Yeah, and as soon as I heard him, I was over Ja Rule. I'm like, hey, this dude, there's something about him. It sounded like me. Even though I was a kid, my brother would tell you this. My brother see this, he'd tell you. I was always bad. I was always into something, and I'll never forget. I had left Baltimore one time to go for summer to be my older brother in Richmond County again. And my sister called me like, hey, these dudes, like, when you come back, whatever you did before you left, they gonna jump you when you get back, right? So I go to the back room, turn the lights off, and start listening to Mini Man, right? So that's my relationship with 50. My brother see this, he gonna tell y'all it's the truth. I'm singing Mini Man because I'm ready to go back home. Like, oh, they want to jump me? Oh, okay. And I never forget that moment. But we ain't have it, man. We ain't have it. My mother, I put it in one of my songs. My mother worked a 9 to 9, working double shifts, and still we never had a dime. Shit was troublesome. You feel me? Felt bad with no assistance from the government. I said I put it in my mind. I had to hustle then. You feel me? And Jesus said that he would always make a way. No, I forgot what I said. You know what I'm saying? About in that song, if you heard that song before, that was one of a lot of people when I was rapping consistently. That was one of their favorite songs because I was basically speaking on how it felt to like. They telling you to believe in God and he won't put more on you than what you can. And then at the time I felt like it was a lot. My mother is we never seen her. So I'm a kid. I'm doing God knows what. You know what I'm saying? This time to make money. Then I got my friends doing and God knows what. They helping me. We doing everything that you can think of that you should not be doing as a kid. And I'm also responsible for getting my little brother up in the morning, take him to daycare at 5 o'clock in the morning, make sure my sister up, come back, get on the school bus, grab him.
How old are you?
I'm 15, 16 doing this and still making money. You know what I'm saying? So and she's not there, so it's not a lot of guidance. I'm talking about, it's a lot. But and when I look back at it, my mother didn't really want me to go to college. Not because she didn't want me to win, but because she told me, and I struggled a lot of semesters in college. If you know that, I didn't really have no money. I didn't know, and I did not want to go back to the streets, right? Mm-hmm. So I struggled and had her, and she couldn't help me. My mother hated the fact that I went there and I had to call. At the time, I thought I had friends and family. Watch out for that word, because them people will talk bad about you when you need them. I thought I had family, and I never forget. At that time, they spoke bad about me. You know what I'm saying? They spoke real bad about me when I needed their help, and assistance. So, I never forget that.
You're from Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah.
My only knowledge of Maryland comes from The Wire.
I love The Wire. I had a couple homeboys that was in there. Yeah.
Is it really like that out there?
I'm gonna be honest, and people say some people would say think I'm being dramatic, and some people would agree with me. I think it's realer than that. I think it's worse than that, because these are real situations. You know that why somebody get to go home. Shout out to Snoop, Felicia Paris, and she's the real deal. Um, but the why you gotta think we going through that for real. Ain't no cameras, ain't no cuts, and a lot of that was based on real stories. You know, Melvin, Lil Melvin. Dang man, I hate that. I forgot his name. Even matter of fact, here's a fun fact: Javante Tate Davis, right? His trainer, the boxer dude that was in the wire, that was based on his character. His character was based on Javante Tate's train. You know, yeah. Then you got what's my man? He getting ready to come home. I actually had to play for him. Marlo Stan. Oh man, Avon Barksdale, the real Barksdale. Barksdale is a real the Barksdale is a real family there. And he getting ready to come home. So the Stanfields and something like that. I'm saying the names up. I'm tongue tied right now, but those are based on real prominent figures in Baltimore. Like the little Melvins. These people are really real like gangsters. If you look them up, you will see these people there. So yeah, these are based on real accounts and real stuff. But I tell people, if you like The Wire, go watch another series. It's called The Corner.
I think I heard of The Corner.
And it's like it got DeAndre's Blues, Gary's Blues, Fran, them real people. You can find Fran, DeAndre. Well, DeAndre passed away. He had a scene, a couple's reoccurring roles in The Wire. But Ed Burns, I think the dude, he wrote a lot. All this stuff was based. He was used to be a detective in Baltimore, so a lot of these stories was based on real encounters. So yeah, this stuff was real stuff. But I think it's realer because we at the time we really going through this.
Right.
Like and Baltimore, I love my city so much. It's one of them cities that like when you think Baltimore, you think drugs.
Yeah.
You think crime. You either gonna think crime, drugs, or seafood.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? You tell a person, hey, describe North Carolina. What's the first thing coming to your mind? They might say barbecue. They might say Carolina barbecue. They might say the Hornets. They might say the baby.
I just think country because of where I'm from.
Yeah.
From Laurinburg.
From Laurinburg, to New York. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, New York is one of those weird ones where you going to think notorious legends, gangster legends, and then you going to think skyscrapers, buildings, opportunity, fashion. It's one of them. It's one of them, right? Yeah. Texas big. You gonna think all this stuff, but Baltimore. When you think about Baltimore, it's synonymous with crime, murder, drugs, seafood. That's what you're gonna think when you get there, and you're probably going to see that. Pardon me, when you get there.
You ever see yourself going back there or moving back there?
I mean, I go back and visit a lot, but move back there, I probably would. I probably want to have a house there. I probably want to have, if not a house, I got a good friend of mine named Tierra Beckett. She want to do a group home, right? And me, and you know, I love her a lot. So I would think that if I don't move back there, I would want to create something for the kids there. I want to create like an outreach to where I don't care if you running from the streets, you did something you don't have no business doing or something, you safe here. Gotcha. You know, you don't really got to leave here until you graduate if you want to. I want to. It sounds crazy. I want to create a like how I felt when I came to A&T. When I came to A&T, I thought North Carolina A&T was Greensboro. I felt safe inside that. Right? I want to create something like that. I want to create a world inside of a world. I want to create an artist spot, a creative spot, a refuge spot for kids, teenagers, young mothers to go and get on your feet there. And I'm talking about have real opportunities. You know, one of my biggest goals before we finish this thing, I tell everybody, one of my biggest missions is when people look for land and property, if anybody who know me know, and I posted a lot. I'm trying to buy actual towns. There's a lot of them for sale in California. Maybe somebody here will take me up on it, look them up on it. Look for old towns. I want to buy old towns. I want to renovate old towns, and I want to create a modern day, real life Wakanda. And what I mean by that, I want to create a place that is for us, by us, and where we teach people.
You gonna put a dome over it where nobody can?
Yeah.
Come in.
I really want to do not even in a dome, but I want to create something to where Maybe it don't. You never know though. Depending on how much with the money, right? We gonna do it, right? But I want to create something like, and you look at every sophisticated society in the world, right? They went cold at one point. They didn't interact with the rest of the world. Right? But that's also what makes America an anomaly, because we never did that. We just opened it up to everybody, right? But when you look at Japan, all the ones who are leading in technology, what they do? They just went cold. They stopped. They didn't do the rest of the world. They just kept to themselves. And if you look at Wakanda in that movie, even though it's a movie, they went cold. Hey, we gonna come out here when we feel like it, but for the most part, we gonna focus on within. And when we come out, we gonna have a lot to offer. You know, at the end of the movie, Wakanda, they went back to the hood and you can see they're trying to save it, right? So that's my challenge. Before I die, that's the goal I created for myself. All of this is for that. I want to create enough money, have millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, maybe even billions of dollars, because the billion is attainable, because we've seen it done all day long with the Rihannas and the Kanye's.
Yeah, billionaires like millionaires.
Billionaires, millionaires now. So I need them billions, or maybe an Elon Musk or somebody might see this and want to take me up on it. I need them billions so I can create a safe spot for those like me, for us, by us, where we teaching everything they need to be taught: finance, technology, taxes, math, reading, arithmetic, construction, farming, or should I say agriculture. I want to create all those type of things so I can give people when we come back to the world, we leaders. I want to create nothing but leaders. I want to teach them everything, how to do media, mass communications, teach that so we can control our own narratives. That's a big thing. Teach them how to speak properly now. We text so much, we don't know how to speak properly no more. Communication, I want to teach mass communications, agriculture, business, finance, tech, everything we can to be self-sustainable. That's my goal. And I'm going to do it before I die. And even if I do it with just my household, right? I guarantee you, I'm going to produce leaders.
That's what's up.
Whether it's my household or if I get a community or whatever I can get my hands on to, whether I can just buy an apartment building and that's just be my apartment building in order to stay here. I might just say free rent, but you got to learn this. I'm going to have something where I'm going to be able to say I was able to help produce that leader right there. And we gonna own it and we gonna create it, and because we are the originators and we gonna originate. That's my plan. That's my goal.
Dope.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, look, man, this was a great interview. You touched on a lot of key points I think the audience could pick up on, especially if you're a young black man watching this. I hope you picked up some gems out of what this guy said, especially with his background and what he came from, and to show you that there is more than a life of crime or playing basketball, man. We can do other things, man. We got, but
we do it all, man.
How can the people get up with you, man? What you got to plug, man?
Man, so listen, follow me on Instagram first. Let's follow my cleaning page because I'm doing terrible on followers on there. I'm really relying on just what I already know, and that's terrible as a businessman. I admit that. So follow my cleaning page. That's Getz Clean. That's GETTZ Clean. CLEAN. Follow that. My slogan, as you know, no matter how dirty, it gets clean when you book with Getz Clean. And then if you want to follow my main page, we got Grittz, GRITZZZ. That's 3 Z's _ the ghostwriter. And I never would change that because this pays homage to who I was before I really became a serial entrepreneur, which I was in love with music. I've been a songwriter. I had a lot of success with that as well. We can probably do a 2-part interview with that, right? So, and then if you can't find me on Getz Clean or Grittz _ the ghostwriter, then you're gonna catch me right here at the Snap House. I forgot the address.
It's not important, man.
It is. The address. Catch me at
This
the
is
Snap
on
House.
YouTube, man. People not from North Carolina.
Well, we never know. Well, give my clip, but send this to my clip so I can post people, let me know where I'm at. But that's it, man. If you ever hear, let this man know he important to come by and tell him, hey, get in the comments and say, what's the address?
The podcast.
I know, bro.
It's about my guests, bro.
But you building me up.
My audience is already watching. They already watching.
True.
I'm trying to
True. Y'all heard what he said. See, that's why
I'm
I love
highlighting
him. That's why I love him.
my
'cause
guest.
He do this what he do. But I'm still me. I'm gonna give him flowers while he breathing.
I appreciate that,
dope.
bro.
I would love to hear that door opening the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we need to do. Support the people in our community that's pillars and that's not charging your arm and a leg and giving you quality. Support them people, man, because when they get to a certain level, you're going to look back and say they left you. And the whole time, you ain't even reach out to him when he was there. So support them people.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you coming through, bro. Thank y'all for watching this episode. I don't even know if I officially introduced the pod, but it's the Rondell Lane Podcast. This was episode number 4. Episode number 4. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Peace.
Appreciate you, bro. My bad. I got back on my phone again.
Yeah, man. It ended the same way it began, man.
Hey, man. They love it.